You are about to travel back to the year 1980, when the movie Somewhere in Time was released. You will see Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour there. 1980, 1980, 1980, 1980. Whoa, I'm there. This is what 1980 looks like? No, I really wish. Oh, that would be something to go back to 1980. Welcome to the Somewhere in Time I'm somewhere in time. Not. Hello, hello, I'm back. And this is another movie review. I've thought long and hard on what I'm gonna do next, and then came upon me. The movie Somewhere in Time from 1980. Starring the legendary Christopher Reeve, who we all know as Superman. Back then. This is my VHS copy because I don't have it on any other format. Whoop. Jumping right in, this is one of those romantic fantasy movies with drama that's a bit on the sci-fi side, and it tugs at the heartstrings. And has an interesting time travel concept. Unlike many of the love stories already out there, this one isn't sappy or corny. When you watch this, it feels pure in passion, and it does such a great job of making you want to see these characters get together. When this movie was first released, sadly it wasn't a huge box office hit, and there was an actor strike at that time, making it difficult for the film to get promoted around, and because of bad box office failure, it would not stay in theaters for long, even when it was pushed for a wide release. But thanks to cable television, this movie would find its fans and its audience and become a cult classic. And to this day, fans are still celebrating this movie. It's even being celebrated still at one of its famous locations it was filmed at, the Grand Hotel. Don't remember where that's exactly located? If someone knows, please tell me in the comments. It would be so cool to go there because that place just looks amazing. I first saw this movie on TV in the mid-2000s. It was on AMC or WeTV at the time, and after first seeing it, it would take effect on me, of course. It would mess with my mind, having me think deep thoughts and keeping me awake sometimes. It was the sad stuff in it and the story, I guess, that would really do that. And as funny as that all sounds, it would be the same case each time I rewatch it. And as the movie grew on me more and more, I would grow an appreciation for it. And what kept me coming back was, I guess, the amazing actors, the haunting / amazing soundtrack, and just everything else about it. And I fell in love with this movie. Somewhere in Time is directed by Janat Schwartz. I'm probably pronouncing that name wrong, and it's a hard name to pronounce. But just to name a few other movies he's directed: Jaws 2, Supergirl, Santa Claus the Movie. Those last two titles you probably haven't heard of or seen. Then this movie is based upon the 1975 science fiction novel called Bedtime Return by famous author Richard Matheson. Yes, the Richard Matheson, who brought us I Am Legend, Stir of Echoes, Button Button, Shrinking Man, if I remember, that's what it's called, and just many others. How I'd like to get my hands on that Bedtime Return novel. Oh, I want to check it out. Diving into the story of Somewhere in Time, it's about a Chicago playwright who uses self-hypnosis to time travel back to 1912 to meet the actress whose portrait he saw hanging in the Grand Hotel in his present time, and he becomes captivated by that portrait. He falls in love with it, and he finds out that the same actress in that portrait was the same old woman from the beginning of the movie 8 years ago at his time, who gave him a watch. And later on in that same night, she died. If you've seen the movie, spoiler alert. But anyway, yeah, so he becomes obsessed and fascinated. And then with the time traveling, it's really interesting in this, with the idea of falling into a deep sleep and telling yourself you're in 1912 and you're in that time period, and that you will meet that actress. Elise McKenna is the character's name that he finds. And of course, the main character is named Richard Collier, played by the legendary Christopher Reeve. And Jane Seymour plays Elise McKenna, the woman he falls in love with. Oh, I love the love story in this. How committed Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour are in their roles, it's amazing. And then there's Christopher Plummer, who plays Elise McKenna's manager, William Robinson. Christopher Plummer, great actor, he does a great job in this. His character is protective of Elise and has his suspicions about Richard, and he doesn't like Richard. And I think he's in love with Elise too. I love how they did a great job with the time periods in this, and just the look, 1912 and present time. Amazing. The costumes and everything else. That Grand Hotel. Want to go there? To talk about the music score, this was done by the legendary composer John Barry. Yes. And a little trivia that John Barry at the time lost his parents, so in the music you can really feel it. Feel his sadness and pain. Yeah. And this film score has become one of my favorite scores in film history. And as soon as it starts up in the movie, the waterworks start up. And I'll listen to this music on repeat here and there. It's just... One of my favorite scenes in this movie with the music playing is when Richard sees Elise for the first time as he goes outside, and as he walks slowly up to her, and oh man, with the music, almost getting choked up just thinking about it. And as they look at each other, and then Elise, she says the line, "Is it you? Is it?" Other favorite scenes in this movie, like the stage play scene where Richard is sitting in the audience watching Elise on stage, and then she breaks away from the script for a moment to give a monologue about the man of her dreams, and she's looking into the audience and she's looking at Richard, and with the music playing, almost getting choked up thinking about it. And then the scene that follows after, where Elise is having her photo taken and the photographer tells her to smile and she's not, and then once Richard goes backstage and just stands there, the way he looks at her, and then she looks at him, and then she smiles. Shit, I'm almost getting choked up. Oh, you gotta see this movie if you haven't. And the ending with what happens to Richard, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's sure to keep the waterworks going more. And really, of course, mess with my mind. Gonna go ahead and end here by saying, see this movie. It's recommended. Yes. It's an underrated movie, but it is a classic. And I love how there's still fans out there of this film. And this film is being celebrated still. Screenings being held in different places, and especially with the Grand Hotel celebrating it. And I want to say I miss Christopher Reeve. His acting capability with this movie, phenomenal. And Jane Seymour and Christopher Plummer are still alive today, so how cool it would be to meet them and have a conversation with them about what it was like to work with Christopher Reeve on the movie. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. And until the next one.